Well, hello, happy Friday, and welcome to Freedom March right here on ILTV Studios. Of course, that's on Facebook or on 103.5 FM, The Beat, if you're listening to me on radio, or on channel 224 if you're listening to me over there on cable, or on channel 112 if by chance you're listening to me on Flow TV. You know, the more I move around, the more things are becoming more and more exciting. Let me get right out the gate and say happy Friday to you all, wherever you are. Just give me about an hour and a half of your time. I sound like a Baptist preacher now. Give me an hour and a half of your time, and I promise to be out of your hair so you could get to your chronic active hooliganism this Friday afternoon, and you can get to all of the soirees that you desire, and you can do all of the frolicking you desire. We have one request every Friday. That is that you do everything in your power every Friday not to do anything that would either add to or take away from the population. That is all we request from you here on Freedom March. And so I like to get that out of the gate early because I don't want to miss it while you all go to your early happy hour spots, right? So no matter how much frolicking and finagling about and flirting about and flitting about, like my granny would say, you all do, no matter how much fan-tailing you do for the young girls out there, do even more to ensure that none of your goings on affects the population. We don't want you to add nothing to it, and we don't want you to take nothing from it. I'm joined in the studio with the spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, who's been praying for my soul's salvation. I say he says I got to pray for my own salvation. I don't know what's happening with the spiritual advisor. But Bradley Roll, happy Friday.
Yeah, man. Same to you, man.
You still don't want to pray for my soul's salvation?
Obedience, man.
Oh, boy. So we're going to get into the Holy Scripture when we get back from the break, of course. I don't know if we want to have an opening prayer. Maybe we'll have an opening prayer. We got time for opening prayer. Let's have an opening prayer, our spiritual advisor, for those people who might get to the hooliganism early before we open the show. So spiritual advisor, open us up in a word of prayer.
Father Heaven, we're just so grateful to you for this day. We pray that you continue to be with us as we head into a new week. The weekend is here, and we're grateful to you for all that you've blessed us with during the week. And also as the week comes, we're reminded that this is going to be a special week for some, a regular week for others. We probably talk about that today, dear God. We pray that you continue to be with the government, the opposition, and all of our people. Bless and keep us all. Bless us on this show. Guide our thoughts, guide our speech. It is in Jesus Christ's name that I pray this prayer. Amen.
Amen and amen and amen. And so you hear the music. We're going to the break. Don't go anywhere. We've got show plan on the other side. Levi Miller is in studio. I'm here with the spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll. We'll be back right after the break. Staying with us through the break, Leland Miller is here, bro, on 103.5 The Beat. I'm also on 224, I'm on 112, I'm on ILTV Studios. I'm in studio with the spiritual advisor who, again, is trying his best to keep me safe on all the breaks, and who I lean on as long as I've been here for Holy Scripture to kind of walk me through some things. I want to say spiritual advisor, I got stopped 5 times today. Reference the wedding in Canaan.
In Galilee.
Yeah, and so I just want to let you know that there are people that are out there that are anxious and they have a zeal and a yearning to understand Holy Scripture. So what you do here is of mammoth importance. And I'm so happy to have you here helping us navigate Holy Scripture. So tell us, what do we have in Holy Scripture today?
All right, well, today we're going to look at the observance of the Lord's Supper and how this was instituted more than 2,000 years ago as a memorial. And you know, no doubt that we're coming to the end of this week, and then, of course, next week, which starts on Sunday, it's going to be marked by the Christendom congregations as Holy Week. And so they say this week, this Holy Week, they're marking that as a memorial where they remember Jesus Christ's triumphal entry into Jerusalem. That would no doubt lead up to his betrayal and trial and crucifixion, burial and resurrection. And they do this every year. And so when we look at what is being done every year, we try to compare it with Holy Scripture and see what did the Christians in the first century, what did they do to remember Jesus Christ, and how often did they do it? And then this controversial kind of like trying to connect Easter and the crucifixion together. There's no connection, actually. If you look at your King James Version, I'm going to read this very quickly for you, but I just want to pass some information for you. If you look in your King James Version and you look at Acts chapter 12, verse number 4, you would see the word Easter there, but it was a mistake. I don't know why the King James and his translators actually mistakenly, I don't know, or deliberately translated the Greek word Pascha and they put Easter there. But when they brought out the New King James Version, they corrected it. So Easter has nothing to do with the Bible. It has nothing to do with Christianity. It was just a pagan fusion, if I could call it that, in trying to tie the resurrection, the burial, the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ with this pagan celebration. But here's what the Christians did in the first century to remember Jesus, because Jesus told them this is what he wanted them to do to remember him. So we're 1 Corinthians chapter 11, and we're going to start at verse 23, and we're going to end at verse 26. So here's the Apostle Paul, and we can always confirm this by going back to the gospel, because this very same thing is in the Gospels. The Apostle Paul says, listen, I received from the Lord what I also passed on to you. The Lord Jesus, on the night he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, this is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me. In the same way, after supper, he took the cup, saying, this cup is the new covenant. There you go. You see that? This cup is the new covenant in my blood. So we have a new covenant. This is Jesus now. Do this whenever you drink it in remembrance of me. For whenever you eat this bread and drink this cup, watch this now, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. So what is the proclamation of the Lord's death and the memorial? It's the supper. Not just once a year, come together, Easter bag, Easter bunny, Easter this, Easter that, and try to connect it to Christianity. There's no connection. Man has strayed and they fell away from understanding what the principles of God's word is, and as a result of that, we end up into this false narrative, if I want to call it that, but this false teaching that make people think that Christmas is, Easter, that's another one, that Easter is actually legitimate, but it's not. But 1 Corinthians chapter 11, 23 to 26, in your spare time, look at this passage. read it carefully, and you will see that the Lord's Supper was instituted as a memorial for the Christians to remember Jesus Christ whenever they partook of it.
Wow.
Thanks so much, producer.
Spiritual advisor.
Back to you.
I don't know if I could. You know.
You want to dig into that? Because it's very straightforward.
I have time to look at the scripture myself, right?
Okay.
But I just want to say that I feel like you just interrupt 72% of the churches, black churches that is, in the Bahamas with that message, right? Because, you know, one of the reasons I particularly like to go, not so much to Good Friday. Good Friday services be too long. First of all, I don't know why.
So what makes this Friday so good? What about the other Fridays?
Well, this is the good one.
Well, this one here, this is not Good Friday. This is the bad Friday. Good Friday is next week.
Yeah, but I don't particularly like Good Friday services. Why? I think I suffer from trauma as a child because, you know, they would send us to church at about 3 o'clock in the day, and church wouldn't come out till like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. And by that time, I figured Jesus had to be dead because this service was so long. If he ain't dead by now, right? But I particularly like going to the Easter Sunday service. You know why? I'm sorry, I'm a Church of God boy, right? And so, you know, we like good preaching.
The preachers be special on that
Bonnie
day.
and like when they say, they hung him high, they stretch him wide, he hung his head.
Yeah, you know. It's a bunch of emotionalism
for me he died.
and sensationalism. That's all it
Touch
is.
your neighbor, and say they bury him in a grave.
It doesn't get you anywhere. All of this is sensationalism.
You ain't reached the good part yet? But 3 days later, touch your neighbor and say, on the third day, he got up. That's the part I like. With power and majesty.
And Satan thought he had him out.
And I'm not letting you take that from the preachers to speak it.
But on the third day, he resurrected.
And I'm not letting you are not taking that from black preachers next week. I'm not letting you do that spiritual advisor. So those of you that are cutting your sermon, don't listen to the spiritual advisor. Because I come into church Sunday because I will hear on the third day. That, you know, that's usually when they preach in the chord of E, G, or A.
But you missed, I don't know if you were listening to the show, but we had a wonderful time a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was trying to show folks that based on the Jewish calendar, the day starts in the evening.
Okay.
All right? So when you see the evening comes, as a matter of fact, are you familiar with Little General? Little General.
Yes.
The food store. Yeah. You recognize this because between Friday evening and Saturday evening?
Yes.
You ever wonder why?
The 7 days.
Right.
Yeah.
So the question is always, because they got that right.
Yeah, that the evening and the morning.
Yes, it's the first day.
Right. So it's Saturday. So I had to wake on Saturday right now.
So what happened is that when you see evening on Friday evening, that shop is closed until Saturday evening, right? So if Jesus was crucified on the Friday, let's say, just for argument's sake, because he wasn't.
You want the keyboard?
He wasn't. He wasn't, no. He wasn't crucified on the Friday. Okay. I already proven that from the scriptures, right? So let's just say he was crucified on the Friday. So from Friday evening to Saturday evening, how much days it is?
That's one.
That's only one day.
Yeah.
Now here's what is interesting. When you look at the Gospels, and they all basically have the story correct. When Mary Magdalene and those went to the tomb, guess what happened? They didn't meet Jesus there.
No, he wasn't there.
He was already gone. So he said that he was going to be in the hearts of the earth 3 days and 3 nights. Thank you. What happened is the Catholic Church made a mistake. 2 Sabbaths fell that week.
Wow.
And they went by the last Sabbath, and it was an error. See, if you go by the first Sabbath, you got Wednesday evening to Thursday evening is 1 day. Thursday evening to Friday evening is 2 days. Friday evening to Saturday evening is 3 days and 3 nights.
Wow.
So Jesus Christ actually came from the dead right after sunset on Saturday and just before sunrise on Sunday morning.
So you mean to tell me when I sit in church next week and they say, but early Sunday morning.
It's just, but he did resurrect.
He got up from the grave.
Yeah, he did. He did resurrect on the Sunday morning.
That's the part where we have to lose his voice a little bit. Yeah. With power.
And then what's all that? It's
and
like
majesty.
It's like a horse talk. What's that all about?
They call it homiletics. Yeah.
But you know, on a very serious note, a lot of things are not like they seem. We've been doing these things for years, but apparently
I love it. It's my favorite part.
I know we've been doing it incorrectly though.
Yeah. Especially when they say touch your neighbor. Touch your neighbor.
Yeah, it's I'm so sorry, folks. Mind you, a lot of people know this.
I'm not listening to your spiritual advisor. I get in the church Easter Sunday to touch my neighbor and say, neighbor,
well, it's up to you.
He get up. And then Rev can say, I can't hear you.
Yeah, he did get up. We can confirm that he got up on the Sunday morning. But to say he was crucified on Friday, you cannot prove that.
Oh boy, spiritual advisor.
It is what it is.
Listen, Rev, don't listen to spiritual advisor. You go to church next week Friday and you preach the two message, because I come in Sunday to listen to the He Got Up message.
So which sermon does have the 7 last words of Jesus? One on Friday.
That's when they trying to see. Let me tell you how I feel with the 7 last words.
But it's been some powerful sermons. I must say though, bar none.
Yeah.
The 7 last words of Jesus is a powerful sermon.
I want them to stop doing that in church.
Wow.
I want them to stop doing that. Don't do it no more. Discontinue that. See, because what has happened is you get some fellas, right? Some fellas could actually preach. And then you got one or two fellas that can't really preach at all. And then they mix them together. And then you got one fella there, he can't study an ounce of this Bible. He's just fainting all over the place. He don't really know what's going on. I don't know if I come here for that. See, when you are a senior church attender like me, right? I've been attending church from 1991. As a general in church attendance, right? Superb level church attendee, me. I can't listen to all kind of preaching, man. The preaching gotta have all of the texture in it for me to listen to the preaching.
They just get those 2 sermons right though.
The
7 last words of Jesus and the resurrection, most preachers get that right.
No, Sunday. As a matter of fact, not even everybody could preach Sunday morning Easter now. Only the generals of the faith could preach that Sunday night. You can't come with your practice on Sunday morning. We don't just let evangelist Tom preach Sunday morning. No. Bishop Gotti preach Sunday morning. Now that's big preaching. I gotta teach you a little bit about the church.
Anybody could have preached Charles Sanders and Simeon Hall preaching.
Charles is the general. Yeah. Charles is the general.
Yeah.
When you say the name Charles
Simeon Hall
Sanders,
could lay it down too.
When you say the name Charles Sanders, you should actually take an exaggerated pause after his name. You have to say, Reverend Dr. Charles Sanders. Pause for exaggerated, noted pause right here. Then you finish the sentence.
But that's deep.
Yeah.
Really.
He's a general.
It is what it is.
All right, so there's a whole lot of things going on around here. Before I start, let me say a special shout out to my friends at Island Connect on Fox Hill Road by St. Anne's. People keep asking me, spiritual advisor, what I do under my hair. I do nothing to it. This is the hair Jesus give me. I just cut it. I just put oil in it that I get from Island Connect, and bam, that's it. Nothing special. It ain't perm. I ain't texturize it, because I don't practice them kind of things, right? All I do is grow it for 1 year, and then I cut it by Island Connect, and this is how it looks. So y'all can stop asking me that. I'm not bleaching my face. I don't know what happened. Maybe cutting my hair make my face lighter. I'm also not perming my hair. I'm not doing any of that stuff. It's just all happening naturally, right? All right, so now that I've gotten that out of the way, let me start off early, spiritual advisor, with telling Lisa Raman what the people say. The people say...
But the speed bumps?
They say, not for their sake, for Christ's sake. Go in Englishton, Lisa. Lisa, you listening? Lisa Chauffeur, if you listening, send me a secret message that I can know.
Mini Street.
Take them from out of Mini Street.
Yeah, I passed across it today.
As a matter of fact, I spoke to the Royal High Commissioner for Star States, who told me, since they got so much tar, and since they ain't got nothing to do with it, they might have put some speed bump on Tony William Dallin Highway. They might have turn around and put some on Milo Butler Highway. Then they might have turn around and put some on Robinson Road. Since you just have tar and put it anywhere, right? Without any kind of discretion, no kind of science. We ain't going towards no goal. We just putting speed bump through the corner.
What we should do, though, before we heavily criticize her, we need to figure out why they were put there in the first place.
Because it's election time. Next question.
You think so?
When else politicians do stupid things that they can't justify?
Something may have happened. Maybe somebody got knocked down, some child may have been ran over.
Okay, someone get shoot through Mini Street twice in the last year. What we gonna do, build a police station on the corner?
They should put up some cameras.
They have cameras.
Okay.
There's no way to justify these speed bumps, though. Let me ask you a question, right? Lil Pookie lived through Ida Street. Lil Pookie Grammy, mommy, had a heart attack. The ambulance got to come to pick mommy up. Which road the ambulance supposed to take? Mini Street. The ambulance coming from PMH.
Yeah, okay.
Down Collins Avenue.
Well, it all depends.
On the Wolf Road, he can't Ida Street. Why would he not take
They
Mini
may
Street?
be coming from someplace else.
Okay.
They don't come from the hospital all the time.
No, you're right. They might come from radio off of Thompson Boulevard. So they come Thompson Boulevard, bam, they come Cordo Avenue. When they come Cordo Avenue, there's no need to come off of Cordo Avenue, because Cordo Avenue will take you to Mini Street.
Okay. And Ida Street is just on the other side.
That's my exact point.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now, mommy home, heart attack killing her. Pookie don't know what to do because Pookie only own a Krypton, right? You can't put mommy on that. Now the ambulance trying to get the mommy. The ambulance got to slow down because it can't get the mommy because Lisa put 88 speed bump through this one corner. That is an actual thoroughfare.
So ambulance drivers must be made aware that if they have to make any sort of emergency,
Don't go to Mini Street.
You can't come to Mini Street.
Yeah, and they ain't paint the speed bump, right? So here's where you compound the problem.
Yeah.
So now we finally get mommy in the back of the ambulance, right? And spiritual advisors say the bed them in them ambulance.
They're too small.
They Chinese bed,
your mother
right?
better be 110 pounds.
Right. So now you done got mommy with the heart attack with killing her on the Chinese bed. Now we got to get mommy to the hospital. How you get mommy to the hospital from Ida Street?
Yeah.
Mini Street. So you turn on the Ida
No,
Street.
you're gonna have to take Balfour Avenue.
Balfour Avenue is
to
going
East
in the
Street.
wrong direction.
Straight to East Street.
You want to go to East Street?
Yeah, and
Well,
then
mommy get
and
there
then
for sure.
and then head north.
Mommy
straight up.
to beat. You can't get out of Balfour Avenue corner. How you can get out that corner?
The siren. You cut time with the
Oh,
siren.
the siren. Oh yes, that's right. Because siren is
You cut time with the siren.
spiritual advisor. Sometimes you need a bucket to scoop them cows your way on the corner.
Yeah, that's
Your
right.
best bet is right turn on Mini Street, to Wolf Road, onto Mount Royal or Mount Rose, one of them, Mount Royal.
Oh, and then go straight over Hawkins Hill.
Yeah, and the
then make a
hospital right
left.
there.
Yeah, okay.
But guess what? Now when
You come to Lincoln Boulevard. That's all.
you can't go through there either because the black speed bump them through there. But we ain't mind them said being there because that ain't no thoroughfare. When you turn right on Mini Street, right? Guess what? Now the ambulance drive up on again because mommy having a heart attack in the back there now. Don't forget that. Well, if the heart attack don't kill mommy, ramping over one of these big black stupid speed bump that you can't see should kill her
Well,
immediately.
you don't have to go to Main Street.
Well, where you can go?
Go to that corner where that Hew's Church building is. It's called the Tin Shop Corner. You know, where Super Value is right on the corner. Then cross the Annex Baptist Church. What's that corner there?
That's Pinedale.
Yeah, just come through there.
Go to Pinedale.
Yeah.
Okay, go to Pinedale. You realize that is in the opposite direction of the hospital, right?
Well, you just
Mommy having a
it's
heart
just
attack,
one
spiritual
street east of Main Street.
Mommy having a heart attack. We got to take all the roads that take us towards the
I
hospital.
can't believe you're going through all this just to curse this woman out. Oh, Lord.
All I'm saying is, Lisa, undo that. That don't make no sense. All them people to Mini Street, the two people who tell you to put them speed bump there, they even ain't got no car. They don't leave home. That's why they have idle time on their hand. They ain't growing no peas. They don't leave home. They don't drive no car. And I tell you, the Royal High Commissioner for Star State said, if you want to put tire on the ground that bad, she should put some on Harold Road, put some on Milo Butler, put some on Robinson Road, and then put some on Carmichael Road. You and Dr. Minnis, who put that speed bump out there by life it is. Anyway, don't go nowhere. Me and Spiritual Advisor will be back here on Freedom March right after this break.
This segment of Freedom March is brought to you by Modernistic Garden and Pet Supply. For top quality dog food, shop online at modernisticgarden.com or visit our Palmdale, Carmichael, and Mullet Marathon locations today.
Thank you for staying with us through the break. Leland Miller, 103.5 FM, The Beat. ILTV Studios, of course, that's on Facebook. And call your friends. Call your friends. Tell them, don't start that liquor drinking yet. It's Friday, but come listen to us while we keep their company on their way to go drink liquor. And then tell them where to listen to us. That's on 103.5 The Beat. I don't know what else they're listening to in the radio. And if they're at home, because some of them may be home, you know, they like to duck awake early. If you duck awake early today, go listen to us on ILTV Studios on Facebook, eh? We've got some ads to read. Producer, let's go to the ads.
Are your dogs hungry and tired of low quality food? Give them the best at Modernistic. We carry all the top brands: Taste of the Wild, Diamond Naturals, Victor, and Ukshuk at the lowest prices in town. And if you're on a budget, we've got 50-pound bags starting at just $49. And for a limited time, buy any large bag of dog food and get a $10 coupon redeemable on select dog toys and treats. And if you can't make it, then shop online at www.modernisticgarden.com and we'll deliver right to your door. Your pet deserves quality, your wallet deserves savings. Shop in store or shop online today. Hurry or promote last. Thank you, producer.
Thank you very much, Spiritual Advisor. So, here's what else is happening in the news today, Spiritual Advisor. Apparently, there's a 30-year-old man. His name is Jerron Darvel, right? I'm a truck employee, works for a company, ICS, I could call their name because the newspaper called their name. Apparently he was fined, and it is a court matter, which makes it a public matter, which means I can repeat anything the court say, right? So, Mr. Jerron Darvel works for an armor truck company. He was picking up some money from a fast food eatery, whose name I will not call because you're not going to get that off of me, when a woman, unknown to him, pulls up behind him, or pulls up behind the armor truck, based on the story here in the newspaper, and he, according to the newspaper, was wielding a shotgun. Y'all kill me with this language. Do you know what it means to be wielding a shotgun? He wasn't wielding a shotgun. If he was using it in capacity as an armor truck driver, he was protecting the armor truck. As such, he could have engaged his weapon. He could have reached for his weapon. He could have been in possession of his weapon, but he wasn't wielding a shotgun. Let me tell you what wielding a shotgun looked like. You remember that time, Spiritual Advisor with Lincoln Bain been down in the well field and tell the fellas who was burning the pine, and you all don't come back. Bam!
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That is wielding a shotgun. If a person driving an armor truck with responsibility for its security is in possession of his weapon and is holding his weapon at the low ready, there's nothing wielding about that, right? Newspaper writer person. So y'all, let's get these weapon languages correct. But the point I'm making is that we have to learn to build a society that isn't so frantic about weapon use, that isn't so, everybody's just, a gun. It's 2025, like, I don't know where y'all think this is. This is not a fishing village. People will have weapons. That's just where we live now, and you should get used to it. But I believe that this is something that I think the commissioner can do, which is to actually introduce more civilian weapons training programs that helps the human mind deal with the social conditioning necessary for weapons to not be such a traumatic thing among our society, right? So newspaper writing person, he wasn't wielding a shotgun. He was in possession of what could be considered his service weapon. All right, and so Jerron Darvel was picking up the money, and he was, according to the newspaper writer, wielding his shotgun when he ordered the female driver to remove her vehicle. When the woman did not obey him, Darvel fired a warning shot in the air. Subsequently, Spiritual Advisor, he was arrested, I don't know why, with threats of harm and possession of a firearm, which is the firearm I suspect the company issued him. Because I don't just assume he's bringing you on gun to wake, because if that's the case, he might as just bring you an armor truck to wake. And if that's the case, he might as just carry all the money home.
Or just have his own business.
No. if the gun could be his, yes, then I mean the truck could be his. You agree?
Okay.
And if the truck is his,
He'll have his own business.
then he should just carry the money where the house he live in is, because that's also his. So I don't suspect he'd bring his own personal gun to work.
So
Anyway.
they'll drop that charge once they recognize
How do you mean
that.
drop the charge and the judge fined this man $2,500?
So he had an unlicensed firearm?
It shouldn't have been an unlicensed firearm if it belonged to the company.
Well, the company may not have licensed the firearm.
Well, I can tell you that ain't Mr. Dabble's problem.
It's the company's problem.
That's my exact point. So what we charged Mr. Dabble for? Mr. Dabble was charged with, what is it called? Subsequently, he was arrested and charged with threats of harm and possession of a firearm with the intent to put another in fear. Foolishness. If while in the execution of his duty, I would appeal this actually. If while in the execution of my duty, as an armored truck driver, in a high crime climate as the Bahamas is, boy, thank God for Shanta Knowles, you're all just missing and getting crime to go down, right? If I was, what's this boy named? I ain't taking no chance either. Have armored truck drivers been fired upon in this country before, spiritual advisor?
Yeah, man.
The short answer is yes.
Yeah, numerous times.
Okay. Have gunmen engaged armored truck drivers in very populated parking lots before? The short answer to that is yes. Remember Prince Charles? The shootout in Prince
Yeah, I
Charles?
can remember one incident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how much you need? Okay. What pookie them this drive? Heavily tinted car. The story say the woman pull up in a heavily as far as he know, this pookie them.
Oh, he didn't recognize it was a woman driving.
I don't care who in there. As far as I know, this pookie them.
No, you can't assume. You can't go to court with that.
I'm assuming every person who get killed in the last 10 years, you know what pull up on them? A heavily tinted Japanese car. Far as I know, this pookie them.
Yeah, but it don't work that way though.
Fine.
Somebody has to emerge looking like Pookie.
No, man. No. And I give clear verbal commands. Ma'am, you are now in an area of operation. Person in the vehicle, you are in an area of operation. Remove that vehicle. Do you remember the last bank robbery in this country? Not the one where the boys robbed the van, would put all the police and
No.
It's not that one.
I can remember the last bank robbery.
It was Robin Hood. Remember that?
Robin Hood.
Yes.
On Tony Williams.
Yes. You remember who robbed that?
No, I can't remember the story.
A woman. Allegedly.
What do you mean a man dressed like a woman?
Hey,
Yeah, I remember it now.
as far as I know, I see a woman. So what makes that any different in this scenario here? I want to know who this boy lawyer is, because obviously he must have got a $2 lawyer. It's no way I was paying this money. It's no way on God's side I was paying this money, spiritual advisor. $2,500. You mean while I wear the company uniform, while I in the company car, with the company gun, protecting the money the company just get paid to move.
Yeah, but there are rules of engagement though. And what are those rules?
The rule of engagement if somebody approaches me while in the execution of my duty, I am to revert to the SOPs. What are the SOPs? I give clear verbal commands. I produced my firearm. This person persisted. Okay, here's a better question. Can the vehicle be used as a deadly weapon?
Yeah, sure.
So what do we? So that ticks all the boxes.
That happened in that case though? Did the person plunge towards him in the vehicle?
You don't need to plunge toward me in no car. What are you talking about? You don't need to plunge toward me in no. At any point, I am in fear for my life that you are going to take this car right here and affect my life's safety. That car is now a weapon.
Yeah, but it wasn't used as a weapon though. All this
Oh,
is just
boy.
assumption.
I know one thing. This ruling by the court seems a bit irregular. I don't know if the court's trying to like send a message or something, but this boy must not have a lawyer. And just in case you don't know, the courts are impartial, yes, but you have to always remember that the courts are a part of a fraternity. And that fraternity likes when you participate in it by its fraternal rules. Stop going to before these judges without no lawyer. Because I feel like that's what happened here. That's what happened in the case of the single mother who gets sent to jail because she sleep by her boyfriend for 3 days and leave her children in the house. That's what happened in the case of what the fella named a couple days ago. Whenever you appear before one of these judges without a lawyer, beloved, you are not going to fare well. So he was in the execution of his duty, which requires him to use a weapon. Someone posed a threat in this very high crime society. The last time the bank got robbed successfully, it was by someone that appeared to be a woman. So don't tell me no nonsense about a woman was driving the car, because I also suspect, Madam Commissioner, that 30% of your crime problem is females. Just in case you don't know, you could go Google this. Females make far better shooters than males when they could shoot. And some of these shooting look so clean, it got to be a woman doing it. Plus, you ever see the size of some of these shooters? Some of them weigh 119 pounds. I don't know man who's be that small. So I suspect that some of the killers you're looking for is probably women. So don't tell me it was a woman driving the car, because that adds nothing to the argument. All I'm saying is I think this is a matter that should go to the Supreme Court for the Supreme Court to look after it, because I think this boy was robbed of a chance of justice. And I hope Stephen Greenslade paid his $2,500 for him, because if it is exactly as it is said in this article, something ain't right. And I oppose it. And I hope he goes before the Supreme Court to seek justice. That's what I want to say about that. All right? Any more to add on that?
Well, I don't know. Some of these companies are very delinquent in paying certain fees. So the question is, was the gun licensed? Because there are a lot of shotguns out there.
But what? Okay, how does that materially change whether or not this young man, Mr. Darwell, was in fair face? Like, how was the weapon being licensed or unlicensed materially any more or less something to consider if Mr. Darwell suggests that he was in fear for his life, or if he suggests that he was simply executing his duty as the doctrine dictates?
Well, the court didn't say that way. He says he was in fear for his life, and when they examined what
Let me see
happened,
who this boy lawyer was.
whatever took place, they didn't consider it fair. So that's why I guess they end up charging them. Because I don't see no reason why he should. Why would he do what he did?
Why would he fire a warning shot?
The woman wasn't a threat to him.
You can't say that. Was the car on? At what point does a running vehicle become a threat? That's all I'm asking you.
Let me ask you a question. There are lots of times you come to restaurants and you come with the door, and there are cars parked right in the front of the doors, basically, and those cars are running. Are those cars a threat?
I can tell you one thing.
Sometimes you walk right past them. You either walk in the back or you walk in the front of them.
Negative. When I go to the watering hole, people parking in the car. As soon as I realize that this car is on, I am not walking between any vehicle that is on.
Right, I understand that. That's cool.
I couldn't
That's
give a jumping Jehoshaphat what the person in the car say to me. I'm not going between this car and this building while you sitting in that car with the engine on.
But most of us don't consider running a car a threat unless it plunges towards you.
Have cars killed people before?
Yeah.
So a car is a deadly weapon?
Not all by itself. There has to be a person in it.
Was the person in this car?
Yeah, but the person ain't plunged towards the person.
Oh, so I must wait till she hit me with the car.
Man, you gotta hit a gas, gotta come revving up, and that car gotta come towards you.
Okay,
it's a different case, man. You know that.
I can tell you one thing. You sound like they was been cooking so sweet.
What they say with the dog and the park car? The dog ain't gonna bark when the car park.
I ain't listening to you or
But
them.
when you see the car start moving, that's when things change.
Spiritual advisor. He also didn't fire rounds into this vehicle, which I feel like he might have got away with, actually, because then he would really be able to justify he was in fear for his life. Them warning shots, they ain't justified. Don't shoot them. I'm saying and don't say that he shouldn't have used this weapon, because if the armor truck company gave me a gun, at what point should I engage my weapon? That's all I asking. When my daddy friend Andy, shout out to Andy, the most killingest armor truck driver in the history of the Bahamas. Andy, I think Andy didn't put down 2 or maybe 3. Andy's responsible for the thing up the road. I ain't gonna brand him like that. But if you try to rob Andy armor truck, woe will be unto you. That's all I have to say. And Andy going down as a hero for saving the bank money. So only when we save white people money, it's okay to shoot Negroes. Just tell me, I just want to know what you think.
No, I don't know. I mean, I think you're digging too much into this case. You gotta be careful.
I think this judge.
You gotta be careful.
I think the judge.
You could be called before the court for criticizing the judge.
This is in the public domain. I'm allowed to render my thoughts about the judge's ruling. Did I say the judge accepted a bribe? No, I said none of that. I said that based on what I can see in the news, I think this ruling is interesting.
But the news doesn't give you all the evidence. It doesn't give you all the facts.
Well, newspaper. Please, next time, print exactly what the judge said.
No. Print what the testimony was. Print what evidence was given before the court for them to make that judgment.
This was the evidence. The evidence was the car pulled up in the parking lot.
That's
he was
not all of it,
wheeling
though.
his shotgun. He ordered a woman to move. The woman didn't move. Daval fired a warning shot in the air. Subsequently, he was arrested. That's what happened.
So apparently the rules of engagement are you can't fire no warning shots.
And all I'm saying is, at what point can I?
You can't fire.
Andy ain't firing none. Andy just make the boy mommy cook so sapty. That was it.
As a matter of fact,
I hope mommy cook good.
We are not allowed to fire warning shots in neighborhoods.
Warning shots do not exist. Don't ask me nothing but no warning shot.
So if I go in the back of my yard and I start shooting off my Mossberg.
Yeah, that is called wanton discharge of a firearm. We are coming for you. Yes.
Yeah, they call police me.
Yeah. For wantonly discharging your firearm. But we can't even accuse Mr. Daval of that.
Well, his life wasn't in danger.
Well, according to this, they say he put the woman's life in fear. Well, what about Mr. Daval's life? Wasn't that in fear?
No.
So this woman walks off scot-free with $500.
Why not?
Oh, boy. You see why I come back at my next life as a woman or a cat? No, it's serious. I'm not coming back to live this. If the Hindus are correct, and you get to live life twice, right? When I get up there, the chief can say, Miller, you want to go back? I say, no problem, boss.
That's a big if, too.
He can say, well, you do such a good job the last time, I can send you back. I say, no problem, boss, I'm ready to go.
If the Hindu.
Then, when he say, you ready? I can send you Monday. I say, ho, chief, you going fast. I can need something. He said, what you need? I can need one of them. He said, one of what? Those. He said, well, I only got these used ones over here. I say, that's perfect, boss. Give me a used one. I ain't never seen no new one.
All right.
And all of them.
If you want to come back as a woman, that on you.
All of them was perfectly taken care of.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I go in the inner city every day. I see Menji dogs every day. You ever see a Menji cat?
Yeah, I've seen one or two. That was sick, yeah.
Where you see the Benji cat spirit?
Right in my area.
That probably was an exotic South African cat. You call the cat?
No, yeah, the cat had some serious issues. I've seen it.
Anyway, so what's your name, Mr. Daval? Go get yourself a lawyer, son. Go before the Supreme Court. See if you can get your $2,500 back. And then sue this woman. Sue her. That's what I think you should do. Because when should I shoot the gun? He should have thrown the gun already. What he should have done? Oh boy.
He should have waited to see.
Wait on what? The Lord?
And be
Do you realize how quickly it happens, spiritual advisor?
Yeah, bro.
So he right there holding the gun on his shoulder like an umbrella, like the fellas who I see is collect the money from the other place.
I hope he didn't
The fella
point.
got the gun on his shoulder like an umbrella. And every time I see him, I say, boy, Derek Richardson would make this fella run up and down until he puke. Because there's no way you could take that shotgun off your shoulder and get a shot off before someone who really come to get you.
Yeah.
You got this it must be raining and you got this shotgun up on your neck like this. But that's why, Madam Commissioner, you have to open up a gun training academy and then let civilians come to it because, some of them going to go be, what is this? Armor truck driver. Some of them going to go be stand-up security like the boy I see in Palmdale by the eatery. You been in Palmdale lately?
Yeah.
I call in their name. They got one security by Acropolis. This boy must be getting to Benghazi. He got on everything. He got on every stitch, clip, button, whistle, bulletproof vest, magazine holster.
You have a camera too? Because a lot of these...
Man, I see body camera.
Yeah.
The only thing he don't got spiritual advisor is a gun. So I wonder, what do you do when the fella with the gun pull up? Oh, but if all you come to do is like hand-to-hand combat, he got you. He got level 1, level 3, level 4. This fella, pepper spray, I think I even see a taser on that jacket.
More than likely, he's been trained to disarm you. So when the man with the gun comes...
The fella with all that stuff on?
He's probably going to disarm the fella. I've seen it happen
If you get
before.
a chance to drive through Palmdale, please wave at him, because I've never seen a security guard this prepared in all my life. I mean, this fella.
Which is good.
Well, how much this kid cost you? How much this? This boy got on bottle for 3 weeks. I trying to figure out if Donald Trump recruiting him to go to Hezbollah or something, because I don't know where he go with this stuff.
You got a Rambo knife?
You hear me? The only thing this kid missing is a gun.
Okay. That's good.
Strike force is a joke. Them fellas who be sent down by where they been the other day?
Haiti?
The fellas who be sent to Dubai to do the special forces training thing.
Okay.
There's a joke. If it wasn't for them gun, they'd stand no chance against this guy. He got everything else. So, Madam Commissioner, let's look into it. Let's look into how we do some, weapons familiarization, standard operational procedures for how to engage, what to expect when you see weapons, why the psychology of weapons is so important, why if you have concealed carries, people shouldn't see a concealed carry because that alters their psychology, what happens if you have to produce your weapon, when is the perfect time to produce the weapon, if you have to engage the weapon, don't shoot it in the air because you can't justify that. These are all things that people need to be taught. And that's what I think Mr. What do you name? Jerron Darville problem is.
Who did he wait for?
ICS.
Oh.
Yeah. So Stephen is the police. Stephen Greenslade, man, do something for Jerron.
Well, they said the weapon was licensed, so.
I don't suspect it would. If you tell me Stephen Greenslade, hold on. There's certain people I ain't prepared to believe certain things about.
Okay.
So if you told me that Stephen Greenslade was walking around here running a company with unlicensed firearms,
you don't believe that, hey?
I'll catch a ride with Shanta Knowles down there to go shut that down. I wouldn't believe that. I also wouldn't tolerate it. My shotgun home, that license. Mm-hmm. And I have that for the purposes of hunting quail. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my quail hunter, that have to be licensed. So if I have to license my quail hunting gun, Stephen better license his own for moving people.
Yeah.
So if you told me that gun was unlicensed,
no doubt.
I'd end the show right now and walk to East Hill Street to go tell the commissioner. I wouldn't even wait on nobody to call her. Yeah, so that doesn't surprise me. But Stephen, please help this boy out. Give him back half of this money at least. Let him find a lawyer. Boy, Jerron, whatever your mommy name you, go to the Supreme Court, because something ain't right with this ruling.
Could he appeal the case?
Of course he could. You could appeal anything. You see like how Brian them appealing to the Privy Council? You could appeal anything, spiritual advisor. You could allege anything, you could appeal anything.
But appeal is going to cost you more money.
You'll even lose $2,000.
Yeah, well, it's better to pay that than to lose more.
Oh, well, I guess. So that's been happening in the news today, along with the speed bumps. To answer your question, spiritual advisor, someone said that I should tell you the only thing that get knocked down through ministry in 2 years was a cat, and that don't deserve 88 speed bumps.
Okay.
And they've also described the speed bumps to me. They say, these even ain't speed bumps. Let me use their exact words. They say, these things...
They're kind of big. I've been over a couple of them today. And they're not marked. They should have that white marking on top so you could actually see.
They say the speed bump don't have no curve whatsoever. It's just one big, hard bind.
No. They got a little curve on that. Tell that person stop exaggerating. I've been across those bumps twice in the last 2 days. So.
How much it was, 88?
Probably 6 maybe.
66?
6, no, just 6 bumps maybe.
No, boy, no, sir.
I'm telling you.
On this telling you. TV and
I'm telling you, it's
no,
6
sir.
of them.
No, sir.
All right. See if it's more.
Then
from Wolf Road?
No.
From Wolf Road? To Balfour Avenue?
It's 5 between Balfour and Robinson.
That's not true.
Oh, Jesus, man. It's about 5 between Robinson and Balfour. Then they got another, must be 7 before you get to make it daddy.
There's 5 between Balfour Avenue and Wolf Road. 5.
No.
I'm telling you.
You're not going to get away with that.
Yeah, I did it.
88. That is what I am alleging. And so, Lisa, man, move them speed bump, man. Please. Not for our sake. For Christ's sake. We need them in Mini Street. And put paint on the ones that are actually there. I tell you, I spoke to the Royal High Commissioner for Star Estates. And he say, you must see want them do to you what they do to Menace. You see what happened to Menace? You mind Menace putting speed bump with no paint on it in Mini Street. Menace put speed bump through Lyford Hills with no speed bump on it one day. And the next day when he watched the news, Menace was gone.
Yeah, that's chief.
So Lisa, do what you could. No big time pressure. We don't put no big time pressure on you. see if you could attend to that for us. Because I like going through Mini Street. I like using it as a shortcut, and I don't want to have to buck my head on my car every single time I go through there, all right? So I also see that Grand Bahama is picking up Spiritual Advisor, which is great news. I told you I was there last week. Not last week, when I was there. Yeah, last week. And just looking around at the topography of the area, you could see that, particularly Pine Ridge area, I didn't make it into West Grand Bahama while I was there this last time. But I guess that would be East Grand Bahama if you consider Midshipman area. Some of that area is coming back alive, right? The Lucaya area for sure, which I think is now Central Grand Bahama. That is beginning to come back alive. And so you're beginning to see the landscape of Freeport slowly build back up.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that on the next side of the break. There are fancy things happening there. I've got some ideas about how to make it work, and we'll talk about those when we get back. Don't go anywhere, leave Miller here. We're on 103.5 The Beat, right here on Freedom March. Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. Stephen Miller is here, sitting in for Rodney Wonka, who, for all of you that continue to ask me, is doing well as far as I'm advised. He's home, he's convalescing. I want you all to bear in mind, Rodney's an old man, so you have to give him some time. right? Because, people say to me while I'm outside, tell Rodney, come back. Rodney, remember now, Rodney been 60 almost 10 years ago. So you got to give him some time. But as far as I'm advised, he's doing wonderfully well. He's not in any pain of any sort. He's in his full mind. And he's anxious about the march and it continuing, right? So shout out to him if he's at home listening and not asleep at this time. And at some point, we're going to put his number back up. Do we have an ad or are we going to read?
Let's do some. We're going to do some birthdays.
Let's do some birthday shout outs.
The day is April the 12th, is it?
Yes.
It is the 12th?
11th.
11, eh? Okay, so Patrice Brennan is celebrating a birthday. We want to send a special birthday request to Patrice Brennan, who will be celebrating a birthday today. She'll be 11 years old, coming from her mother, Tanji Mackey, her father, Patrick Brennan, her brother, O'Neill King, her Grammy, Joan Mackey, and the entire Mackey family, thanking you in advance. So happy birthday to Patrice Brennan. Aliage Bethel, happy birthday to Aliage Bethel from her grandmother, Helen Knowles, who watched the show every day.
And I want to say a special hello to Helen. Hello, Helen. She's always so nice every time I see her. And hello, Aliage, on your birthday.
Rachel Johnson. Happy birthday to Rachel Johnson. Is coming from her mother, Patrice, her sister, Beth, and her brother, Caleb. Also from her family and friends. They love you. Enjoy your day. Happy birthday to Rachel Johnson. Rain Wiley. We want to send a birthday request out to Rain Wiley. It's coming from her mom, dad, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandmothers, and friends. Enjoy your day. Rain Wiley. Franklin Clark. Happy birthday to Franklin Clark. It's coming from his wife, Katie, children, Kimberly, and Ustinov, grandson, Aiden, family and friends, church members as well. Happy birthday to Franklin Clark. Roderick Patrick Jr. Happy birthday to Roderick Patrick Jr. Celebrating on Saturday, which is tomorrow. So this is a pre-birthday shout out. Greetings coming from his parents, Roderick and Veronica. Brother Kevin and Sister Kay, children, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncle, cousins, and the rest of the family and friends. They love you. Rick, enjoy your day. Pauline and Bristol. Happy birthday to Mistress Pauline and Bristol. Paul from the Kellys, Rochelle, Kim, Lamont, especially your loving sister, Indira Kelly, also your darling grandson, Ethan Hamilton. Enjoy your special day. They love you dearly. Happy birthday to Pauline and Bristol. So we got anniversary, John and Catrice Colley. Good afternoon. Can you please send a happy anniversary to John and Catrice Colley, who will be celebrating on Sunday, April 13th, coming from all who love them, especially daughter Simone. May God continue to bless the marriage. All right, so thank you so much. That's it for today.
All right, good stuff.
All right.
So happy birthday to all those people and happy anniversary to that couple. And again, to Aliage and a Grammy, spiritual advisor, they love you as well. That's another batch of people that love the spiritual advisor. They don't miss
Where's that, Aliage Boutique?
That's the only other Aliage I know, her and the boutique. Yeah, so I just want to say a special shout out to them because I know they're tuning in. Now, spiritual advisor, I also want to go back to this issue that you keep talking to me about with the jet ski fellas.
It's a terrible issue. I've been telling you, but you've been making excuses for these guys.
I don't agree with you.
To make it seem as if because the tourists wear bikini, that means it's a green light.
No.
And all this
my position
rah-rah and ray-ray.
If Pookie like to rape, why Pookie only this rape tourists? Why Pookie don't rape nobody else?
Because he can't get away with it.
And he assumed he can get away with raping in America?
Well, these people sometimes under the influence. Anyhow, the question I'm asking, if it is alleged that these rapes are being done by unregulated jet ski operators, why would the jet ski operators who are regulated, who actually pay their licenses, why would they allow this competition on their doorstep?
Well, because first of all, they don't have the power to enforce. When I go over there and I tell Pookie, you ain't no jet ski operator. You can't operate your jet ski.
You should be able to tell them that.
And when Pookie pull out he 9 iron, how Shanta can get the police?
Call the police.
No, man, I ain't fooling with that. Pookie, all you do is you don't touch me and I ain't gonna touch you. I hope the port department, Brian, right them get you, but I already tell you, The port department only got 6 people, and I think one is walk with a limp. I know what kind of enforcement unit that is. All right? So, putting them stand no chance of catching Pookie down. Now what do you do?
I did.
Nothing. All you do is don't bother them and don't let them bother you. And hopefully, at some point, the arms of the state will catch up with them. But what I am saying is now I see the minister is saying that the police are recommending that the tourists wear body cams. I hear that. What I know.
It's a step in the right direction, actually.
I think that step too big. See, you gotta sift it out, spiritual advisor.
Until another tourist gets raped.
No.
While you're sifting.
No. So, you meet them out. See, because what I suspect is that the U.S. Embassy will move this post again. I don't know why Bahamian politicians don't realize that the people in the international community will never not move the post on us. You only see Moody's come out one day and say, we have a positive rating. This other, what they name, Fitch come out the very next day and say, we have a stable rating or something to that effect, right? And if I listen to y'all will have us chasing our own tail. It's because these international people move the post on us. So I believe if you give the Americans that big chunk one go, all they can do is move the post and require something else. And then require something else. So you gotta sift it out on them. I say, let's just air track the people. Air track the bike, because you can regulate that. If you are operating a lawful bike, your bike should have an air tag, which is strapped to the thing with them container straps with the customs people is used. And you as the operator, during the hours of your operation, your vest have an air tag on it, or your whatever you have, your key for your bike have an air tag on it. Or whatever you put it on. I don't know. And then that way, when you say you get raped at latitude 077.26 whatever by 027 by 18, I could simply go right to the geogrid and see where was Bradley Rule at the time of this accusation. Bradley Rule, your air tracker was for 45 minutes, stopped in this bush. What were you doing in this bush for 45 minutes?
But a body cam could tell a lot.
Yeah, but what can happen, right? When me and so fans, right? Not so fans. What can happen when me and the people them product go on our little vacation and we want to ride jet ski? You know the last fella that was killed on Arawaki in an accident, allegedly.
With the bike, with the all-terrain bike?
I didn't want to go that specific, but was killed, alleged, with a woman that wasn't his wife. That he met on the cruise. That he evaded his wife to go joyriding with.
Wow.
I ain't always want no camera around. And I believe that at some point, somehow, because things in the Bahamas is leak. One of these people image, because it's election time, next thing you know, you got a body cam commercial. We have body cam. Bunch of commercial, right? Joe from Habakkuk say, well then that's my face on that body cam. Nah, the minister just was using it for a commercial so people could see how good it working, right? Boom, liability. I ain't into recording people. I like that idea. Because people come to paradise to play.
Well, yeah, but they ain't
And when my
come to
hand in
get
the
raped,
cookie
though.
jar,
They ain't come to get raped.
I agree. But when my hand in the cookie jar, spiritual advisor, I want you recording me. That's what I
but
said.
they gotta find a way to
told you the way.
safely get this program done so the tourists
Just
can
air
feel
track
safe
them?
when they ride these jet skis.
Okay, how are we?
Either that, or they need to not allow jet skis to go out of particular
Here's
territory.
the next thing. If Pookie could be on bail for 6 murder, we ain't requiring him to wear no body cam. Is he not a direct threat to public safety? Is he more of a threat or less than a threat than the rape jet ski boy who we alleging and we ain't convict yet?
Well, yeah, I'm thinking the body cam is a
So
good
when do we
thing.
stop with this?
And not only that, I also believe that maybe some Royal Bahamas Defense Force officers or the Royal Bahamas Defense Force can purchase some jet skis and they can
have
use...
jet skis.
Good.
Yeah,
so
but
now they need to demand these
y'all
fellas,
got their
though.
resources thin right out. They watching the cruise ship all day. You got the Defense Force in Freeport. How much of them you didn't get? There's only 1,800 of them, and that's if you include the fella in the top chair.
Yeah, so But that's what they need to do then. If Defense Force has jet ski, it's good. Problem solved.
All right.
Problem
I
solved.
say, Minister, let's build this out piece by piece. Don't get the Americans too big of a chunk all at once. They can move the post on us. Sift it out on them.
Give the Defense
So
Force.
firstly, we can air tag the bike and the operator. Then we can air tag all of the company's flotation devices. Then, I know what we can do after that. Then we can put camera on certain key to monitor the key access to the beach. I just don't know if I want bikinis and bear and camera in the same sentence. Sorry.
I think we can fix this problem easily. Give the Defense Force a few more jet skis and allow them to man these jet ski operators. And as soon as they go into certain areas, like they normally do in the harbor, they say, hey, listen, you're out to your territory, man. You shouldn't be here with this tourist. You need to go back. That's a simple thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that idea.
That sounds good to me. Let the Royal Bahamas Defense Force man these jet ski operators.
And catch the Haitian them. And
no, I mean, we don't need that much to do what needs to be done to solve this problem. What? 7 officers, maybe.
I don't know.
At most.
I don't know. All right, let's move to some stuff in Freeport. So Freeport is booming and it's on the way back. I see that there's a lot of stuff happening. Luxury yacht companies are opening up over there and all kinds of things, right? And I've said before, I'm saying again, spiritual advisor. Who's the minister? Ginger, who I think is responsible for the upgrades that I've seen in Grand Bahama. Although they tell me it's USAID, right? They tell me, Ginger, they tell me you ain't do nothing.
Yeah,
the USAID people been there and fixed Freeport. That's what they allege.
But it's on hold now. It should be on hold. I think Trump stopped some of that.
But too late, everything didn't look nice.
Okay.
All right, Ginger, let me help you. Just turn Freeport into a sin city. Let people come there, let them gallivant, let them frolic, let them bring their sweetheart, travel with the people product, make it a wonderful big sweethearting place. Open up nice hotels where you can sweetheart, put the cosmetic surgery hotel by the Lucaya or hospital by the Lucaya, and then put one big Walmart right by the gate of 8 Mile Rock. You been to Freeport, you say?
Yeah.
So right by the gate, move Buddy Hill, them picture that don't make no money, put a Walmart right there, bam! And then that way all the people in 8 Mile Rock could use it. You could go in Walmart, Bahamians who, like me, who ain't been to America in a couple of years, could kind of go in there, shop in Walmart, blah, 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 blah. Bring my stuff back to Nassau. I think it'll be brilliant, it'll be beautiful, right? So here's what's happening in Grand Bahama with the yacht company. Producer, take us to the story with the yacht company. Because I think this plays right into the narrative, right? Of Freeport being the ultimate sin city. Because fellas in yacht have yacht money. And yacht money is perfect because you don't need no hotel. So when you turn the hotel that's sitting there that you all can't sell into a BBL clinic, and we have all the gals come up with the bumblebee figure when everybody got waist like horse and like horse, right? Then you could make the little small part of the hotel the place you go to convalesce. And then the Lucaya, that should come back alive. The Lucaya strip should come back alive, right? And then, I don't know, maybe light the bazaar fire again. And then build up some gun ranges, indoor gun ranges, indoor strip club, one little indoor weed shop, because you all tell the people they can smoke the dope now. So let them smoke it in Freeport. And you just turn Freeport into one big paradise of fodder and filth. And you just let people go over there and bathe in their lustful desire. I think that'll work perfectly.
I can't support that. You know that. So.
Oh boy. Let's play the clip from the yacht.
We continue to take a look at Grand Bahama. Our Theo Seeley has been covering stories from the nation's second city. Tonight, it's concerning some mega developments, and it's an in-depth conversation with Grand Bahamians about hope that remains on the horizon for the island's bounce back. Tonight, he has a one-on-one chat with a foreign investor whose business is booming, and he shares why he chose Grand Bahama Island to set up shop. Theo Seeley takes it from here.
Foreign investors from near and far are flocking to Freeport, Grand Bahama, spending big bucks on multi-million-dollar developments. The landscape for them, they say, is quite attractive. Exquisite Yachts is generally a yacht manufacturing business with factories in South Africa and Portugal. And when it comes to its corporate base, Freeport Grand Bahama is where it calls home.
I mean, we sell most of our boats to the U.S. market or North America, and we needed a place where to service our boats. So the closeness of Freeport to the U.S. just made a logical choice.
Exquisite Yachts raking in big business by attracting yachters with 3 distinct business offerings. First up, try it before you buy it charter.
So those are our potential customers that they, some of our boats are over $5 million, so they want to try the boats thoroughly before they make a decision.
Then there's the luxury cruise charter. Got $20 to $60 million to spare? You can get 1 week in paradise, full service.
Bahamas is one of the most beautiful cruising ground in the world, and they got the perfect luxury service, gourmet meal on board, and the crew taking care of them.
And on a smaller scale, a new addition, day charters.
So day charters, we having now a 40 power cat built, and we have a 30 sport cat, sail cat. So both power and sail, people that visiting the island can do additional adventures and tours with us.
And just so you know, business for Exquisite Yachts doesn't stop there. Its home base in Grand Bahama is also an attraction for international boats as a marina and service center as well.
We are an open marina, full service marina, so any boats are welcome, and not just to our marina, we also port of entry for customs and immigration, so boats coming from abroad can clear customs right here, and our marina is open as a service center is open, so we service other boats, other brands, not just our own brand.
No doubt that the yachting arm of this company has been bringing in big business, but there are bigger plans on the horizon for Exquisite. Just to my right, you can see this structure, which has been under renovation for some 3 years now. It's expected to open in 2 to 6 weeks, adding added revenue to their portfolio.
Before it was a 32-room hotel, which we're now converting into 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments.
And so I think it fits perfectly into the landscape, spiritual advisor. I think you could turn it into one big happy place. Obviously, you won't need big hotels because people have yachts. A lot of people that haven't been to Freeport don't know that the thing that makes Freeport so fantastic is its waterways and canal system. So you could literally park a yacht almost anywhere in Freeport. And if you created a sin city, you could introduce a sin tax because people would pay for their pleasures, right? And I hear spiritual advisors say he can't support that. Well, I don't really know what in here is a sin because a cosmetic hospital ain't a sin. Walmart ain't a sin. Recovery suites ain't a sin. An indoor gun range ain't a sin. And the last time I checked, I ain't sure if the strip clubs was actually a sin. They wasn't really sinning there. It was like kind of sinning, spiritual advisor. So
I can't get in that.
But which of it is a sin?
Any lustful, unlawful sexual activity comes or falls under this term fornication.
Wow. But it's economy.
Well,
it is this woman engaged in an employ for a nominal fee. That is economy. That can't be sin. You disagree?
Sin is a violation of God's law.
Boy. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't drag me into that now, man, because, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like it's perfect for the place, spiritual advisor. Nothing else there. They ain't got no hotel. Nothing else there. So you turn it into rich people playground and let them go there and play and then revive the place. All right, let's move on. So Dr. Davel is blaming Bahamian lifestyles on early death and poor life. What do you call it? Poor
health decisions.
Quality of life, right? Mm-hmm. And here's how I feel about it. I think Dr. Davel is not wrong. He's not right. But I don't know if he's looking at it too superficially, right? And so, what I believe is happening is I believe the Bahamian gene pool is contaminated. I believe you all keep grinding your cousin corn, and that's why all are sick and dying. The gene pool in the Bahamas is just too tight.
So that's what causes diabetes and high blood pressure.
And half of these other things. And early
There's no
death.
scientific proof of that. There's no
What
scientific
do you
evidence.
mean? Let's see. With ChatGPT, I knew you would say that. So I ChatGPT'd before I came here. ChatGPT says breeding animals from the same bloodline, or inbreeding as it is called, can be very risky if not managed carefully. The risks of inbreeding include increased risk of genetic disorders like heart defects, joint problems, rheumatoid arthritis, immune system deficiencies, lupus, infertility, autism, or reduced fertility, reduced genetic diversity, lower survival and vitality, behavioral issues, like crime. All of those are the direct effect of in-bloodline breeding, spiritual advisor.
Okay. Well, so the British has been doing it for 1,000 years.
You look at some of them.
It ain't look. They don't. It doesn't do any of their behavior, and they live until they get 100.
Not all of them. Only
So-
the rich ones. What I'm saying, you spiritual advisor, is maybe that conversation should lend to another conversation, which is how do we import citizens so that we grow the Bahamas, so that me and my cousin don't keep grinding our corn together.
Well, people normally do some background check when they get.
That don't mean y'all ain't cousins. And as hard as I try,
Everybody
right?
know who their cousin is, so.
No, that don't mean y'all ain't cousins. That don't mean y'all ain't cousins. If you trace this line far enough, you might find that y'all may be cousins twice removed, but y'all still cousins.
Well, so you're saying that the Bahamian people don't make unhealthy life choices?
No, I'm not saying that.
It's because they're related. That's what's causing the problem.
Mama used to eat lard. Why mama ain't had diabetes?
Lard don't give you diabetes, eh?
What? Mama used to butter the bread and lard. Put lard in the rice. Mama ain't had hypertension one day. Explain to me what happened.
So then you need to look at the lard can and see what the ingredients are. And that could tell the story.
But I do think that we got to spread this population open some more, spiritual. We need some people from some other places to come here. Or we need to send Bahamians out. But if all we keep doing is just procreating in this little gene, we contaminating this to no end. The non-communicable rate here is astronomical. How do you explain all these people with heart problems? In case you don't know, among the killers in the Bahamas...
Processed food, man.
It ain't no way in God's name we could be eating more processed food than the Americans.
Yeah, processed food. They sick too. They have some very serious health issues.
Per capita, not as sick as us.
Yeah, I know. We're sicker than them.
This is
You
my
understand
point.
that?
It have to be the gene pool. And so, Michael David,
That
I
isn't
agree with you.
scientific. Yeah, but anyhow.
That yes, it is the lifestyle choice. I think among that lifestyle choice is Bahamians don't like to marry people that ain't Bahamian. Now, I agree we should not eat lard. But mama eat lard for 50 years. Lard ain't kill mama. Explain that. My grandma used to
They
eat...
cook with it. They didn't eat
My
it.
grandma used to eat the pork fat with the cassava. How come that ain't kill her? How come she lived to be 87 and never had, and born 18 children home with a hot towel and a sister who couldn't read? But all these new women now, the baby can't born on their own. Someone
What?
got to hold the baby
Already?
hand. Come on.
You know the problem is today? We don't exercise. Mama them used to get up early to go in the field, to go plant this, plant that, plant the next, and come back 4 and 5 hours later. So that could be the
Or we can just
situation.
spread open the gene pool.
That could be the answer.
Oh boy, I hear the music, so that means we're going to the break.
It's quick.
Stay with us. We'll be right back on the next side of the break. I think we got to talk about this gene pool thing a little bit more. That and a national fitness program. But we've got to figure out how to fix this problem. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. Welcome back to Freedom March on 103.5 FM The Beat. We're on channel 2241 on cable, channel 1121 Flow, and of course we're on ILTV Studios on Facebook. We're going straight to the ads. We've got Tanya. Well, let's talk to Tanya. Tanya, hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Miller, and good afternoon, Spiritual Advisor. It's your girl Tanya coming to you live from Shop Smart Department Store, your miracle, right here at number 122 Marquis Street, where we say we're here for you for whatever season of your life and for everyday living. So walk with me as I show you another beautiful design by Shop Smart on how to shop and set your dining room table for this Easter season. All items in this video can be found at Shop Smart, including all of these lovely dish sets, the chargers, all of the trucks with the flowers, the Easter bunnies, the vase, of course the Easter picks with the eggs, and of course underneath a lovely lace runner. We've got the candlesticks as well here at Shop Smart, and we want you to know that whatever you see in a Shop Smart video is sold at the store. We are having a 20% off store-wide sale, so some of these items in our video will be 20% off. You can get some of them as high as 25% off, because that would be the Easter items. We've got your LED candles that you can set for any mode and not worry about whether you're going to have a fire. As you can see, the rich colors in our table setup, you can come and bring that home to you. Remember, our Easter sale is on until Easter Monday, so you can come on in and take 25% off everything Easter, and you can take yourself 20% off store-wide. So if you want to create an Easter look like this for your dining room table, or you just want to come on in and take a look at all of the Easter specials we have going on, that's the 48 count eggs for $5, or the 12 count for $1. Maybe you're interested in the eggs that are filled with tattoos and stickers that are 50% off, or the already made baskets that are 50% off. Just come on in, we've got you covered. Remember, Shop Smart is open Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. for your shopping convenience. If you can't come in the store, you can give us a call at 698-1051 or 698-1052, or you can just hit us up on our social media platforms. That is Shop Smart 242. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok. Or to take a look at all of what we have to offer in the store, you can visit us on our website, and that is shopsmart242.com. That's www.shopsmart242.com. Take a look at all of what we have to offer, and remember, we're having this sale until Easter Monday. That is 20% off store-wide and 25% off on Easter. Mr. Miller, Spiritual Advisor, remember to shop early, to shop often, and to shop smart. Enjoy your...
Thank you very much, Tanya. And Spiritual Advisor, I actually had spoken to a couple of people that went down to Shop Smart today, and they tell me they leave to go get one thing for their mommy.
Yeah, and
by the time
pick up a lot. Yeah, pick up a lot of stuff.
A trolley full of things.
It looks so.
Coming out of the shop.
A lot of attractive stuff there.
So very happy to report that. Let's read the ad.
Are your dogs hungry and tired of low quality food? Give them the best in Modernistic. We carry all the brands: The Taste of the Wild, Diamond Naturals, Victor, Anushuk at the lowest prices in town. If you're on a budget, we've got 50-pound bags starting at just $49, and for a limited time, buy any large bag of dog food and get a $10 coupon redeemable on select dog toys and treats. If you can't make it, then shop online at www.modernisticgarden.com, and we'll deliver right to your door. Your pet deserves quality. Your wallet deserves savings. Shop in store or shop online today. Hurry. Offer won't last. Thank you, producer.
All right, thank you, Spiritual Advisor. Yeah, and so I want to wrap this up. I think, Spiritual Advisor, that while Dr. Davil is onto something with lifestyle choices, I do think this is a wonderful opportunity for the Prime Minister to shuffle his cabinet, for him to make Dr. Michael Davil the Minister of Health, Fitness, Wellness, and Lifestyle, right? And then you partner along with all of these open spaces, you know, the shopping malls, etc. You call the Commodore, you tell them, send me them bunch of PDIs you got. And then in every quadrant of the island, particularly here in Nassau and in Grand Bahama, where he has those assets, and even maybe in Abaco, we have PT just going on everywhere on this island, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, from 4 in the morning till 7 in the morning, and you could come out in a safe space with maybe armed guards and just, you know, and then you give the people some sort of a rebate. If you have 21 days a month, you sign a little register, you get a little rebate, we'll give you a 10% coupon off your grocery. That way you could say you just get VAT exempted food because you doing what you can to help combat, you know, the non-communicable diseases in the country. I think that works perfectly, and that beats the hell out of building a new clinic because all we can do is fill that up with sick people. If Dr. Michael Darville's projections are correct. You agree?
We need the clinic. And it's in St. Barnabas, so I know the member of Parliament for St. Barnabas says thanks.
Wow.
To the government for putting that much needed clinic right there on the corner of Blue Hill Road.
And Cordova Avenue.
Okay, great.
Yeah. You still don't think we should use it as a gunshot clinic?
I mean, that's an idea. I mean, for trauma victims.
Don't say trauma. That can mean, trauma means car accident. Trauma means follow the tree. Trauma means cut your finger off at the cutlass. I say Pookie them shooting 100 a year. Pookie them, all of them who get jack up. And let's put car accidents in it too. So car accidents, gunshots, and stab wounds. That's where you go. You go to that clinic. That's your clinic.
Okay.
And I think that'll take the strain off of the PMH,
A&E.
and then Dr. Michael
A&E.
Darville could focus on getting the air conditioning wigging in the pediatric section of Princess Margaret, which has been brilliant every time that I had to engage it. So to all the doctors down there in the pediatric section, Nurse Paul, and all of them, you all are fantastic. I always enjoy, and I actually hate having to come there. But when I do come, you all make it a little bit more bearable, eh? So we're going to open the phone lines.
Indeed, yeah. So we can open the lines, 323-7775, it's the number to call, 698-0775 and 698-0776. Feel free to call us. We covered quite a bit today. You can call us, we can discuss whatever's on your mind or whatever subjects we had discussed previously. So it's the weekend.
Yep.
Coming up, and of course heading into next week is going to be very interesting. Street
gonna be
to
interesting about
street, the religious world
Oh,
will be
praise the
celebrating
Lord.
Holy Week. So I think
Hallelujah.
it's just the Sunday where they say it marks the day that Jesus Christ rode in Jerusalem on a colt, right? What is it? Is this Palm Sunday? This Sunday?
Palm Sunday, yeah, Palm Sunday should be this Sunday.
This Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, he riding on a what?
On an ass.
On an ass, yes. yes.
On a colt or a donkey,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But the King James Version uses that term. So the lines are open, 323-7775, 698-0775, 698-0776. Call us. And while we wait on the calls, I guess we could discuss anything that you feel. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live. Sorry about that. You're live, caller. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
How you doing now?
Yes, sir.
Spiritual advisor and Leon Miller.
This son of the Pumpkin Eater.
How you know the one and only man?
Hey, Pumpkin.
I go on the 4I5 against spiritual advisor. I want my buddy have a show on Island FM, on TV, at 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So I'm recommending that.
Who's that?
Leon Miller.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm saying, Leon, I want you to do a show on 2 o'clock to 4.
You got to call the boss. Call the boss. and
I
see what
said
he
it
say.
now.
All right.
You will be a good access to the 2 to 4 hour. But what I really call for, I appreciate the deputy leader of the opposition who give credit where credit is due, and the clinic my government is doing.
Wow.
You know, I really appreciate that. He's a man when you're doing good, you say you're doing good. But when you're doing bad, you know, but the opposition, that's the kind of opposition I like. That's an American type of opposition, man.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but Miller, man, I get out, you should have in Freeport, what Freeport is doing. I always tell the people, Freeport is back.
Freeport is back.
Grandma is back.
Freeport is back. Take my word for it.
All the Lutherans are back. Carnival open in July. The next port open in same time.
Freeport is back. Ginger, and listen, they say Freeport had a little bit of colic, and all they needed was a little piece of ginger.
And I love that ginger. I love that. Oh, I
have repented,
I love her.
Pumpkin, I had to
speaker.
repent. I had to repent because I had to cuss Ginger out before the election, I didn't think Ginger could pull it off, but I have to admit. I
would have body slammed you, man.
She ain't doing too bad in Freeport.
But two ladies I love in there, Ginger and the Speaker of the House. But they're doing a good job. And when this election come around, I can't wait to say victory all the way.
I don't know. Well, let's see. Now, you have to remember, Freeport's still F&M country.
So
you have to also remember Ginger was in the race of her life against the independent Frederick McAlpine, who I also count as a righteous man down there in Freeport. So let's see what the election.
But don't forget they break it up, They break it up. But look at Lewis calling COI.
But I wish they put all 7 of the seats back in Freeport. That would make it exciting.
Where's Michael Pine? I miss him.
Michael Pine is somewhere still. I just saw videos from him last week. The woman frop him, the senator would say, and say, boy, I always got time to see you. I say, well, there it is. He must be still a righteous man. So,
I asked in closing, I asked Michael Pine, Reverend, come home, man.
Oh, boy.
Come home. There's a space for you on spiritual advisor. Come on down. I'm your Pumpkin Eater, one and only. Have a good day.
All right, Pumpkin. Get in the numbers again, Spiritual.
323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Good afternoon, S.A. Good afternoon, Mr. Miller.
Good afternoon.
Good conversation. It seems as though it's election season because I leave home this morning, coming back at 2 o'clock. It's polling division number 5. I got 6 speed bumps.
Brand new.
I don't know what's happening.
Wait, and which constituency this is?
This the corner right past Johnson Barbershop. That's right.
Yeah. That's Andres Avenue, eh?
You ain't been around here, but why you putting speed bump? You don't come in this polling division.
Yeah.
But you putting on speed bump. You didn't consult nobody around here.
Yeah. You just putting speed bump anywhere. That's another thoroughfare. That road is taking you from East Street straight to Market Street. Yeah, I know why they putting speed bump on these things. You say
we
the
had
one
speed bump, midway that was sufficient.
Okay.
And they put these speed bump with no paint on it to bump up my head in my new car.
Yeah, and your poor head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord.
But the MP don't come. I don't know why she put the speed bump. Okay.
Oh Lord.
Have a good day, guys.
Thank you so much. Show. Yes, ma'am. You take care.
Johnson Barbershop. I think I know where that is now. Okay, Johnson Barbershop.
Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Good day, Mr. Miller, and good day, Spiritual Advisor.
Good afternoon.
I want to say to you, Mr. Miller, you're doing an excellent job.
I think you can.
Very informative in your topic, very extensive. So I want to say, Mr. Rodney could leave you any day in his seat.
But the leader of the woman then must return.
You're keeping him sane. You're doing a good job with leading him in the right way.
Oh, hallelujah. Thank you very much, Carla.
Yes, you take care now. Okay. Okay, bye-bye. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Good evening. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
Hey, Baba.
Hey, listen. I agree with the lady, Mr. Monaco, or let me say the owners of the TV station couldn't find a better person to sit in for Rodney Monaco. I'm proud of you, Levon, as a young person in this country. So much other dumb, stupid things you could have been doing out there. But you're representing thousands of young men like you, and you're smart, and I like that about you. Tell me something on the news. I don't know if you read any papers today, but they're saying something about the mother for the tourists who they find on the beach. I listened to one video, must see on Eyewitness News a couple nights ago, where the mother was saying how she think they beat her son and stuff like that. But I think the doctor must see done say the report. What you call it?
The autopsy report says that he drowned, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying, for people who questioning it, right, don't question it, because the family member should have the opportunity to go to what you call an independent autopsy person in the States or somewhere, and we'll find out what she was assuming, that her son might have been beat. She described how his teeth was break out, how his face was full of sand, like someone stomped him in the day. Then I listened to the news this morning in the papers, you all who could see could read, the court acquitted somebody who was charged for a little child who was 3 or 4 years old, somewhere on the family island from 2013.
Yeah, manslaughter.
The baby died from blunt
trauma.
Blunt trauma, blunt force trauma. The ribs was breaking up and broken. Let's say that person was innocent and they ain't have enough evidence on that person. That baby didn't do it themselves. They need to find out who do that to that baby. We need to get hot and mad and serious when these people kill little children, man, and make them responsible and stop letting them go just like that. And that's just another child lost. That could have been your child from 2013. And nobody in jail, nobody hanged.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't just go back to vigilante justice. Keep up the good work.
You can't endorse vigilante justice, Papa, but I understand your fury, especially when things happen to children. As a matter of fact, if I'm being quite honest, spiritual advisor, you know when I hear like about motorbike accident and people getting knocked down, the minute I hear is somebody over 30, I don't even be sad no more. I only be sad when children get knocked down. Sorry. So if you get killed on a motorbike and you was 25, I feel like that's the will of God for you.
Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Miller, I'm
Present.
spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir.
Did you say that there's going to be a clinic opposite NID?
Yes.
Yeah. Right on the corner. You see that place is cleared down? I think they have some quarry in it that's well packed it now.
Yeah.
Okay. They're working fast, but let me ask you, is the kitchen at Princess Margaret Hospital finished renovation yet?
We're actively working on that.
You're actively working on it?
That is what I am advised, yes.
Okay, because I thought that would have been finished.
Well, we was busy clearing down the lot. We had to use the fellas who was working on the kitchen to clear down the lot. But now that the lot cleared on, you watch.
They're cooking the food by UB though.
Yeah, but that's a far cry from you know.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
I get your point. I understand what you're saying. We should make sure the sick people are eating first, eh?
Yeah, I see them eating the McDonald's.
Oh boy.
Wow. That's the same food who got them in the hospital in the first place.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Anyhow.
Not allegedly, that's not allegedly. The man had the hospital ban on his hands. And he tell the people, hurry up, serve him, because he got to go back on the ward. Anyway.
Well, dying from chronic ailment ain't no better than dying from starvation, caller.
Oh, man. That's a good one. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Appreciate you, caller. All right. 323-7775, 698-0775, 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Are you there, caller? Go ahead. We have any more calls, producer? Welcome to Freedom March. Welcome.
Hello.
You're on there. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Richard?
Yeah, what's going on? Everything good?
Levi Miller.
Present and accounted for.
Well, I stand in this honorable house on a point of correction and information.
Okay, go ahead. Correct me and then inform me.
There is nothing happening at the hospital's kitchen. Nothing. It was supposed to have been done within 6 months to a year, and that year has long since passed, and there is no improvement at the hospital.
No progress.
No progress.
None.
I go there 3 times a week. As a matter of fact, I was very instrumental in drafting the letter to have that place closed down.
Wow.
Because of the rodents and the leaking and the stuff and the nastiness that was going on in that kitchen. Now,
You mean the same kitchen where they was making the bread?
yes, they were.
That's
yes,
why
they
that bread
were.
tastes so good, eh? That must
Yeah.
have made the bread taste good like that.
But listen, who are these people we send to the House of Assembly to do our bidding, Levan? Spiritual.
Well, they are the best and the brightest among us, I'm advised.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, no. They just happen to be lucky.
This jet ski situation, first of all, those video cameras are extremely expensive. Second of all, even although they may have some that modified to be around water, they don't have none that can really come in contact with water while those jet skis are rolling. If the water splash on the lens, then the sun is going to dry it, and then you're going to have salt on the lens. So how you going to be able to see? My suggestion is just how we have taxi drivers, tour bus drivers, and stuff. We train those fellas first. Designate the jet skis that cater to the tourists with numbers like 555, and tell the tourists that when you see these numbers, you know it's safe to go on that jet ski. And as a part of their license, during the hours of 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., this jet ski is prohibited from going to that key. I was talking.
Well, I don't know. You know which key they just do the raping on it.
Well, whatever key is in the vicinity, they prohibit it.
Yeah.
Or we could just track. It's 2025, and all we could just track them. You know, and just track them.
You can do that too.
Yeah. You know, they have the GeoGrid bonds that you could put on, and you lock it, and it can't come off until you get off the work. And you
they can do that.
Yeah, that's easier than restricting like mobility later.
Like spending all that money for one camera.
Well, I told you I don't agree with that, but you know.
Jesus, but who are these men, Spiritual?
I'm advised that that's the police's recommendation. If you read the story correctly, or if I read the story correctly, let me not be arrogant. What I read was that the suggestion is that the police have said that this is a route to take.
Well, they
so
need
you
to
can't
fire
be
that
politicians if that is what the police are recommending.
Fire that one, because Devon, you would have sat around the round table, and we would have never come out there with that suggestion.
Yeah, they don't let me run the round table. I only an insider to people who outside, you know. To the people who inside, I is an outsider. I like on the porch, which is kind of the worst place to be, because I can't go with the Negroes, but they don't let me have dinner at the table either.
Oh,
yeah, I on the porch.
That's the minister who said technically 8-year-olds can consent to sex. That's the minister who finding the fella with 15 gun in the house and giving him a plea bargain, and now this.
Well, I also ain't opposed to plea bargains either, caller. I would prefer to put a fella in jail from day one and let him do 7 years than to spend 7 years trying to put him in jail for 1 day. That makes no sense to me.
Anyway, I got him down. Spiritual advisor,
yeah.
Who are these people? Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Get him the numbers again, Spiritual.
Welcome to Freedom March. Do we have anybody there? Are you there, caller? Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Spiritual advisor, this cowboy, Mr. Miller.
Hey.
Mr. Miller, everybody got a solution to the problem.
Okay. You have any solution?
When they in, they can't see it. When they out, everybody gets a solution to the problem. So what the deal is, Mr. Miller?
I guess it's like playing chess. You know, you see the best chess moves when you're standing up.
Every 5 years, it's the same old, you know, I don't know, but what they doing? Monopoly or what are they dealing with, man? Every 5 years, the same old thing. No one got a solution to the problem. The PLP said they will wipe away all tears
from
everybody's eyes. But
they always crying this much.
That must be God. They must be God.
When they say, Jesus, these people could cry, eh? And the fella come out on the beach and cry, cuss out the member of parliament because he cousin dead. And the member of parliament only sent he cousin $300. I had to ask for the member of parliament kill he cousin it.
Mr. Miller, I second it to you. I saw voting, man. I saw voting.
No, you can't stop voting. I can't support that.
Mr. Miller,
I can't support that. You gotta vote.
Man, the people, everybody got a solution, and when they in, they can't see nothing. But when they out, they see everything.
Yeah, well, again, the best chess moves are seen by the people that's standing up, not necessarily the people that's sitting at the board.
But I can tell you what I can do. The PLP and FN and XYZ done shuffle this or that.
You voting for the FNAs? You voting for that? Listen, we got another one. My God, Spiritual.
Yeah.
By the time I finish. Lincoln, I hope you see me recruiting.
Way the things will change.
Lincoln, I hope you see me recruiting. By the time I finish Spiritual Advisor, I get my T-shirt on.
Lincoln, tell Spiritual Advisor, come over, man. Don't get lost, Spiritual Advisor. Don't get lost.
Spiritual Advisor be a FNA with us? Spiritual Advisor be inviting you.
Cowboy get his horse. Cowboy, you riding a horse, Spiritual Advisor?
Yeah. All right.
Hey, horse still you.
Thank you, Cowboy.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Time for one more. Let's see if we can do one more. Let's see if we can do one more, producer. We got one more?
Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Yeah, well, I just want to talk about the young girl that the gentleman went to jail on. That when she left home and she stayed with the guy and they sent him to jail.
Yeah. For what, 6 or 8 months?
Yeah, if he would have put her out the house and somebody else would have took her and something would have happened to her, what would he have done then?
Well, that wouldn't have been his problem.
Right.
Yeah, he isn't a legal guardian.
He was a boyfriend. He was a boyfriend, and he kept her there until he kept her safe till time to go home.
The boyfriend ain't legal guardian, caller. There's something called unlawfully possessing. So you may not have done anything illegal, but your possession of the product may be unlawful.
Yeah.
And to possess a child that you do not have legal guardianship for is unlawful.
On the street and she couldn't go home to mom.
Well, you know, we could hypothesize anything forever.
Well, look,
you know what I mean? What if goat wasn't mutton? Who knows? Anyway, let me send a special shout out. We gotta go call her. Let me send a special shout out to Lady Patrice Ellis, who I'm just recalling her birthday is today. She's one of my favorite human beings, by the way. So wherever you are, madam, happy birthday from us here at Freedom March, Levan Miller, and of course the spiritual advisor. It's Friday.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a good weekend.